Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're exploring a really moving collection of personal stories.
Yeah, it's all from a book called For the Love of Autism, Stories of Love, Awareness, and Acceptance on the Spectrum.
Exactly. And our goal really is to unpack these stories, these, very personal insights into life with autism.
We want to pull out the key takeaways, the perspectives for everyone involved, individuals on the spectrum, their families, their loved ones.
And the core theme that just jumps out is this idea of moving beyond just awareness.
Right, towards actual acceptance.
Yeah, and it's all driven by, well, love, being vulnerable, and just amazing perseverance.
It's pretty incredible, actually. The book itself apparently started from just one conversation back in 2020.
Shows you how powerful a single idea can be, right? Okay, so let's dig in. When you read these accounts, the first thing that really hits you is just how different every experience is.
Absolutely. The source is, quote, Dr. Stephen Shore saying, if you know one person with autism, you know one person with autism.
And this book just proves that point over and over.
You see it immediately in how people react to getting a diagnosis.
Mm.
For some, it's like, relief.
An explanation.
Exactly. Finally understanding maybe why things have been so hard, why their child seems different, gives a name to it, maybe a path forward.
But then for others, maybe even the same people, but later on, it's shock or grief.
Yeah, mourning the future they kind of imagined. One parent talks about crying every day when her son wasn't hitting those typical milestones.
Worrying about what comes next.
And another mentions the grief didn't really hit hard until years later, after dealing with all the system failures and the constant challenges. Grieving that expected path seems, well, pretty common.
And the challenges they share, they're really significant. Communication is a big one.
Huge. It could be a child who's nonverbal or maybe expresses frustration through hitting or screaming because they can't get the words out.
Or, heartbreakingly, like in one story, not being able to communicate pain, which masks something really serious, a brain tumor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's sensory oversensitivity. That comes up a lot.
How sounds, lights, textures can just be overwhelming.
Totally. Social difficulties, too.
Yeah.
Right. That's another layer.
Everything from maybe not seeming interested in other people to really struggling with friendships and, sadly, dealing with bullying.
And then you have families dealing with really complex medical issues on top of everything else.
Things like brain malformations, blindness was mentioned, epilepsy, serious feeding issues needing tubes.
That's a lot. And behavioral challenges come up too. Self-harm, sometimes aggression, or maybe not understanding danger, which means constant vigilance for safety.
And just navigating the systems, school, healthcare, finding support, it's described as a constant fight.
Getting the diagnosis in the first place, getting therapies like ABA, that's applied behavior analysis.
Right, the skill-building therapy.
Yeah, and then dealing with insurance refusing to cover it. Tamika's story, founding the Autism Hero Project, actually came directly out of that fight, that insurance discrimination for ABA.
But here's the amazing part. Woven through all of this difficulty are these incredible stories of, well, triumph, resilience.
Yes, unexpected breakthroughs, milestones people maybe didn't think were possible. A child starting to talk after years of being nonverbal or learning really complex skills.
You see incredible grit. Legend, Tamika's son, facing his fears, doing things like ziplining and rappelling in Hawaii.
Wow, that's courage.
And people finding their own unique ways of seeing the world, finding joy in simple things, or just having these incredibly strong personalities.
And real talent shining through.
Yeah.
Excellence in math or science, or finding this amazing expression through art, music, photography.
Mike Katuara, one contributor, he became a photographer, found his career through that passion, even though people doubted him early on.
And Andrew Arbo, turning his passion for driving into helping others, especially others on the spectrum, learn to drive.
Yeah. And Leela Ayadal Harsha, she used her experience as a parent and a teacher to become a BCBA.
A board-certified behavior analyst.
Right. And now she's a huge advocate. It's not just about coping. It's about really building meaningful lives, finding purpose.
So, okay, building on that reality, the book also offers a lot of practical advice, strategies and philosophies that have worked for people.
A big one seems to be early intervention, getting support early and making sure it's tailored to the specific person.
Dr. Temple Grandin's advice comes up, and it's very practical. She talks about slowing down your speech.
Right, thinking of the brain like a slower computer needing time to process.
Yeah, exactly. And wait for the response. She says the worst thing for a young, non-talking child is doing nothing. She suggests, like, 10, 20 hours a week of one-on-one instruction.
And using hands-on activities, everyday moments as teaching opportunities, like practicing social skills at dinner.
Crucial stuff. But she also warns therapy shouldn't cause sensory overload. That's key.
Good point. And you see these strategies actually working in the stories. Leela Ayad al-Harsha's cookie connoisseur story.
Yeah, her son Mustafa loved cookies.
Right. And she used that intense motivation with ABA to help him build communication, starting with sounds, then words.
That's brilliant. Latia Motley talks about becoming a student of her child, really learning his way of communicating, how he learned best.
Instead of forcing a specific mold.
Exactly. And Carrie Magro mentions using technology, music, even his parents just mimicking sounds back to him to help him learn to speak.
Which brings us to advocacy. It's like a thread running through almost every story.
Oh, absolutely. It's often this constant push, fighting just to get the diagnosis recognized.
Fighting for therapies like ABA, especially when insurance or Medicaid makes it difficult, like the Illinois situation mentioned.
Fighting for the right school environment. Sometimes public schools aren't equipped, so maybe needing a specialized school.
And it doesn't stop at 18 or 22, right?
No way. The need for advocacy continues pushing for transition services, for real job opportunities, for businesses to be more inclusive.
The Autism Hero Project Gala is mentioned specifically for highlighting autistic professionals.
Yeah, challenging businesses.
Yeah.
Hire this talent. And remember, Tamika started AHP because of her own insurance fight. That personal struggle fueling the advocacy.
And finding support systems, that's highlighted as just essential.
Definitely. Connecting with other parents seems huge.
Yeah.
Fighting that feeling of isolation when your life looks different from your friends.
And relying on family. Casey Buzzard shared how her relationship with her dad was kind of rebuilt through his involvement with her daughter, Caroline.
That's powerful. Mike Kajwar also stressed how vital his family's support was.
Finding friends who get it, using organizations like Autism Hero Project or Aspiritech, the one that employs autistic adults in tech jobs, these are lifelines.
So the deep dive also really goes into the emotional side of things, the internal world, especially for the parents sharing their stories.
Yeah, the vulnerability there is really striking. People talk honestly about feeling, guilt, shame, confusion, self-doubt.
Like feeling you're not enough as a parent, or worrying you're somehow messing up your child, maybe because you feel different yourself.
One author uses the metaphor of wearing a mask.
Yeah, feeling like a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Telling your kid, be yourself, while you feel like you have to hide parts of who you are just to get by.
And the impact on relationships comes up too. Friends sometimes drifting away.
Not always out of malice, just paths diverge, priorities shift so much.
And the strain it can put on a marriage. They stress how important it is to actively work on the partnership.
Like setting rules for date nights, making sure you have adult conversation that isn't just about the kids or therapies, intentional connection.
But what's amazing is, out of all this struggle, this theme of unconditional love just shines through.
It really does. Nicole Gottsman mentions her yoga teacher, telling her unconditional love is the cure.
And for her, fully accepting her son, just as he is, apparently changed everything, brought her peace.
You see that echoed everywhere, especially in the love letters in the book. Just pure adoration, pride, acceptance.
And this love seems directly tied to finding acceptance and peace within themselves as parents.
Yeah, letting go of some of the negativity, focusing on the positives, realizing this love brings so much joy and purpose, even with the difficulties.
Like that quote, "This is the life I chose, worked hard to make a reality." Not giving up, but owning it, accepting it.
The sources also briefly touch on complexities within the autism community itself.
Right. The reference to a social media war, different perspectives clashing sometimes, maybe between some parents and some autistic advocates.
And the book's response seems to be a call for kindness. Accepting different opinions exist.
And focusing on the common goal, improving life for people on the spectrum.
Exactly. Reinforcing that autism is so varied, no one person speaks for everyone. It's about understanding the diversity of thought within the community, too.
Okay, so finally, these stories give us incredible insights into finding joy, finding purpose, and maybe reframing expectations.
That Holland versus Italy analogy really captures it, doesn't it?
It does. You planned for Italy, maybe the neurotypical life, milestones on a certain schedule.
Yeah, you bought the Italy guidebooks?
Right. But the plane lands in Holland. Life with autism, it's different.
And it's okay to grieve that lost Italy trip. You have to acknowledge that loss.
But if you stay stuck mourning Italy, you completely miss the unique beauty of Holland. The windmills, the tulips.
The Rembrandts. It's about accepting this unexpected journey and letting yourself actually appreciate its special qualities.
And that shift allows for celebrating the small wins, finding joy wherever you can.
Mark Mariohana's lesson, finding fun wherever and whenever, even during tough times, like that final family trip. That's powerful.
Hugo Morales talks about finding humor in everyday life, earning laughter lines and wrinkles, cherishing all the moments, even the hard ones, with laughter.
Ana Uribe Ruiz speaks about celebrating each victory step by step and finding strength in prayer.
And connecting passion with purpose seems key for fulfillment in these stories.
Definitely. Andrew Arbo found his career through his love of driving. Mike Katuara, photography wasn't just a job, it became advocacy.
Leela Ayad Al-Harsha, channeling her experience into becoming a BCBA and advocate, using what they know, what they love, to make a difference.
And the overall message feels like one of real hope.
Yeah. As Andrew Arbo says, it's never too late to improve things. People with autism have a whole lifetime to grow and develop.
Believing in that potential, even if others don't see it, that hope for a full, happy life with the right support and acceptance. So wrapping this up, this deep dive into For the Love of Autism, it really shows a journey with, yes, huge challenges,
Definitely. But also incredible resilience.
practical strategies, people fighting tirelessly for what's needed,
Advocacy.
and above all, maybe, the sheer power of unconditional love and acceptance.
It really hits home that the big shift isn't just knowing about autism, but truly embracing it in people, in families, in society.
And that finding joy and strength and real purpose,
Mhm.
it's absolutely possible within this experience.
These stories kind of leave you thinking, don't they?
That idea echoed throughout, that maybe the best lessons aren't on the path we meticulously planned out.
But on the unexpected detours.
Exactly. And the love we give and love we get back, maybe it changes us just as much as it changes the lives of those on the spectrum.
Makes you really reflect on what it means to, well, cherish and celebrate every moment, truly.